Unbelievable. What's up, Money Geeks? Mr. V here. Welcome to another video, guys. So in today's video, we're gonna do kind of like a follow-up to a video that I did a while back on transferring your assets from Robinhood to WeBull. So after that video, I have been getting a ton of questions from people trying to figure out certain things. So this is kind of like a follow-up video to that one with some more details as to some of the questions that I was getting. So I'm just gonna compile those questions and then provide the answers in this video. So before we get started, guys, if you're new to the channel, we'll talk about how to earn money, how to save money, how to invest and build wealth. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on new content. And also the video that I'm talking about that I did transferring from Robinhood to WeBull, I'm gonna hook it up here so you can definitely go check out that video if you haven't already. So again, some of these questions are stuff that I've gathered from people in the comment section. So we're just gonna go through it and answer, and even some of the questions that I think that people might be looking for answers for, I'm gonna include them in this. So let's jump right in and answer some of these questions. So first question is, what does WeBull charge for transferring your assets from, let's say, Robinhood to WeBull? In this case, WeBull doesn't really charge a fee if you have over $2,000 in your portfolio. WeBull would actually give you, a free transfer. You might be charged by the outgoing broker, which in this case, let's say if you're using Robinhood, Robinhood might charge you, but WeBull would cover that charge for you up to, I think, about $75. So that is very simple. So if you have over $2,000, your charge would be free. And then I think for you to transfer asset, you should have at least $500. So anything over $500, WeBull recommend that you liquidate and then come buy in WeBull. Otherwise, if it's over $500, then you can request a transfer. But if they charge you the $75 transfer fee out of, let's say, Robinhood, that's on you. WeBull doesn't cover that. But if you have over $2,000 in asset, WeBull would cover your transfer fee for you. So that's something to keep in mind. Next question is that what kind of securities can I transfer to my WeBull account? So in this case, hey, you're thinking like, hey, can I transfer every stock in my portfolio? The simple answer to that is no. Only stocks that are listed in the US stock market are transferable to WeBull. So if your stock is not listed in the US stock market, then that asset particularly would not be transferred. So the best way for you to find out is that if you have a stock in your Robinhood portfolio, you go over to WeBull and go in the search bar and type in the ticker symbol for that particular stock. And when that ticker symbol shows up, see if you have the trade option, the trade button. If the trade button shows up, it means that stock is transferable, and then you can transfer that stock. So again, simple question to the answer is that not all stocks are transferable to WeBull. So only stocks listed in the US stock market are transferable. Next question is, how long does the stock transfer takes? The transfer takes between 5 to 7 business days, and WeBull recommends that after 7 days, if you don't see your assets in your portfolio in WeBull, then give them a call. It means something didn't go right. Give them a call and they would figure it out. They're usually pretty good at responding to calls or just contact them in the WeBull app. Go on the contacts and you should be able to just send them a message there and they'll get back to you. So between 5 and 7 business days is when you should have assets back in your WeBull account. So the next question again here is, what types of transfer are available? So in transferring your stocks from, let's say, Robinhood to WeBull, you got 2 types of transfers. You have what you call a partial transfer, which means that you're probably requesting that only certain stocks or your cash value get transferred, or you have a full transfer, which you're transferring pretty much everything. So your entire portfolio of stocks that are transferable would be transferred over to WeBull. Next question is, can I transfer stocks from a cash account to a margin account? Or vice versa. Usually, WeBull recommends that you transfer cash to cash and margin to margin. If you're transferring from a cash account to a margin account, from what WeBull says is that you're gonna get delay in the process, or it might even end up being canceled. So don't transfer. So if you want to go from from your cash account in Robinhood to a margin account in WeBull, that might be an issue. You have to call WeBull to figure that one out. Or you can convert your account from a margin account to a cash account, let's say in WeBull, transfer and then convert it back to a margin account. That would be the way to go. Or you can convert your margin account in Robinhood to a cash account and then transfer it into a cash account in WeBull. So that's another way to approach it. Next question. How can you cancel a stock transfer request in WeBull? Let's say you put in your request, then you change your mind, like, oh, I don't really want to do this. You have about 30 minutes from the time you submit your request to cancel it. After 30 minutes, once WeBull starts reviewing and processing your request, you cannot cancel it. Unless, if you get lucky, your request gets rejected, and then that obviously leads to a cancellation. Otherwise, once after 30 minutes, there's nothing you can do. The request is gone. Next question, why is my stock transfer request still pending or taking so long? So in most cases, if your stock request, like I said, goes over, transfer goes over 7 days, you want to contact WeBull either through a phone call, or you can send them an email at account@webull-us.com. Again, account@webull-us.com. You can send them an email there and they'll figure it out and try to get you on track. Next question is, why did my stock transfer fail or got rejected? So there's so many things that can happen why your stock transfer got failed or rejected. So if you submit your transfer and then you're still trading in, let's say in Robinhood, and still making trading in Robinhood, that might lead to a rejection or cancellation of your request for transfer because the account is still very active. In some cases, if you put a request and you have less than $500 in your portfolio, since WeBull requires that you should have at least $500 plus to request a transfer, you have under $500, they would reject that request. And there's so many ways that you can make that mistake. You can have a portfolio that's over $500, but by the time you're making that request, the market moves down, and your portfolio is under $500. At that point, they're going to reject that request, and you're not going to get it. So yes, those are some of the things that might lead to you getting rejected. Or if you have stocks that are not transferable into WeBull. So again, like I said, to find out the stocks that are transferable, make sure that you take the ticker symbol of your stock in Robinhood, bring it into WeBull, and then just search it there and see if you see the trade button under that stock. That means that stock is tradable in WeBull, and that means you can transfer it to WeBull. And finally, so I've seen people ask me, what is ACATS, which stands for Automated Account Transfer Services. Again, it stands for Automated Customer Account Transfer Services. So this is a system that automates and standardizes the procedure for the transfer of assets, let's say in a customer account, from one brokerage to another. So in this case, the process of transferring your asset from Robinhood to WeBull is called ACATS. So Automated Customer Account Transfer Services. And so right now, the last thing that I wanted to just kind of give you guys or get you guys up to speed is a few tips to consider before you even initiate the transfer to WeBull. So if you're thinking about transferring your assets from Robinhood or any other broker to WeBull, just a few tips that you want to consider. Number one is that only listed U.S. stocks, options, ADRs, and ETFs are accepted. So if they're not U.S. listed, you're not going to be able to transfer them. WeBull supports individual cash account, margin accounts, traditional IRAs, Roth IRAs, and rollover IRAs only. Those are the only ones. So cash account, margin accounts, traditional IRAs, rollover IRAs, and Roth IRAs. And tip number 3 is that the name and the type of the delivery account must be identical to the receiving account's name. So if you are transferring an account from, let's say, Robinhood to WeBull, and the name in Robinhood doesn't match your name in WeBull, you have problems. If the account type doesn't match, let's say you're trying to transfer a traditional IRA into a Roth IRA, that won't let you. So you have to make sure that all those things are identical before you can request your transfer. Number 4 that I want you to know is that, or tip is that, your broker may charge you about a $75 fee for transferring out. So you get charged for transferring your money out of the system. So make sure that you talk to your broker, your current broker, and figure out what that fee is, and see if you are willing to take that fee. Or you might just want to liquidate and then transfer the money and then buy the assets again in WeBull. And finally, so for the most part, WeBull doesn't transfer stocks or accounts under $500, like I mentioned earlier. So if your account is less than $500, don't even bother, because it's going to get rejected. So WeBull would not transfer that. So those are some of the tips that I want you guys to consider before transferring your assets to WeBull. So as you can see, guys, transferring from any other broker to WeBull, it's a very easy process, but you have to understand some of the things that we just talked about. Some of the questions that we just talked about, if you don't know the answers, it might be an issue for you transferring. So I hope that these answers are helpful and allow you to go through the process very seamlessly. Like I said, it's a very short form. Check out the video that I walk you step by step through it, and just if you have any questions, again, you can drop them in the comment section. Again, follow the tips that we talked about. Make sure that the account types are the same, and make sure your name matches and stuff like that. You have over $500 in your portfolio before putting your request, because otherwise it's going to get rejected, so it'll be your time wasted. So question of the day, what do you think about these tips? Do you think that this was helpful, or do you think, Mr. V, I need more? I need even more details and even answer more questions. Again, if you are thinking of moving to WeBull is actually doing a promotion where they're going to give you 2 free stocks. One, the first one would be from like $2 to about $250, and then the second one would be from $12 to I think $1,400. So I'm going to put a link in the description below. You can definitely go check them out if you want to sign up for WeBull. I'm a WeBull affiliate, and so I get kind of a free stock. Just like you do, I get a free stock for for every referral that I send to them. So it does help me keep the channel going. And as always, guys, stay motivated.